My Nordfab ductwork finally showed up to my shop, and boy was this not a fun experience. So hold on to your butts because it gets much worse from here. So many things actually went wrong, you're gonna think I wrote this story. You'll see. It was the day that I finally received my ducting. Every item needed to be inventoried and accounted for a good reason. With some help, we highlighted the items on the list and set them aside in an organized fashion. I used the original list I was provided rather than the packing list, because some trust had been broken by this point. We'll dig into that soon. And somehow, some way, everything was accounted for. I couldn't believe it. Oh, and here's a pro tip. Don't stand these up. They're loud steel dominoes if you tip one over. We won't cover exactly how I installed this, since there are plenty of great videos on it already. Rather, this is my experience in my review of Nordfab as a product and a company. A few problems we were immediately met with were, they didn't supply a seal for the flange that attaches to my dust collector. Thankfully, I found one in a box of Laguna stuff and we could move forward. But then of course, the flange was drilled wrong. Oh man! And every hole was offset a few millimeters, which if you've ever tried to elongate a hole in plate steel, this isn't ever and wasn't easy. With some time, I was able to get the holes aligned and we could move forward bolting the big 12-inch flange on the dust collector. Then the main riser could be clipped together, which is undeniably satisfying. Then, of course, worn as a Viking helmet, because why not? We were honestly figuring this out as we went, as there were no real instructions on how to assemble it, so we just assumed that pre-assembling it would be easier. Then we could lift it in place and clamp it with the quick connect. And here we are in awe, that things are finally starting to work out, or so we thought. And as we skip down this yellow brick road of an experience, you'll see why I'm conflicted. Now that we knew the projection, we could pull the Y and attach a run to it. Using a rope and two studly men, this product practically installed itself, it really did. These quick connect clamps are a true genius design. They snap tightly and lock easily. Honestly, even the hangers were easier than expected. They just ratcheted together in a loop and the excess could just be tied out of the way. Then the rest of the ducting could just go up easy peasy, right?
How about no, Scott, okay?
Well, they did supply two drawings that show the diameter of each pipe, but no item numbers. And this would have been great information if it matched the model they sent as reference, but that would have been too easy, right? So hold on to your butts because it gets much worse from here. I really tried to stay positive through this process. I really did. I wanted so badly to report a positive experience, but I unfortunately have a lot more to tell, and I really just want to be transparent and honest. So I provided my third-party distributor with a SketchUp model of my exact shop down to the inch, so Nordfab could use it to create the design. Now my expectation was that their design team could get a practical layout in a reasonable amount of time. Nope, I waited weeks to even get a response from my third-party supplier because Nordfab doesn't do business with business owners like me. So as the days went by, I still had no dust collection. I of course got impatient and got in contact with them directly to figure this thing out. Long story short, I gave them a very simple list of needs for placement of certain ducting and areas to avoid. So I thought, this shouldn't be a problem, right? They have a pre-rendered model and some simple directions. I mean, it's Nordfab, they specialize in this, right?
Wrong-o.
Okay, big deal. They got me a line drawing. I can work with that, right? Nope. This didn't work for one minor detail. They completely disregarded the list I gave them. Okay, Corey, no problem. People make mistakes. I'm only losing thousands of dollars by this delay. It could be worse. People make mistakes. I'll just give them a call and see if the list got misplaced. Hi, this is Corey with Fortress Fine Woodworks. I was just curious. I believe my list got disregarded.
What list?
Okay, so I didn't break my phone and they didn't say what list. Full honesty here though, they said they would take care of it and would get a model returned hopefully in the next day. And they did. With more disregard and quite honestly, inexcusable mistakes. Look at all of this extra small diameter ducting. It adds tons of extra cost and severely hurts the potential CFM and suction. And this is just unforgivable. The table saw lines are running right into the outfeed side of the saws. I can't cut with those there. Oh, I guess they probably should have thought about that, huh? Well, now I'm in therapy. The doc, I just can't trust them anymore. What do I do from here? Well, sometimes we have to realize, because we don't have control of others, the best thing we can do is have compassion and use patience as a tool for tolerance. That's some real shit. So that's what I did. I got on the phone and I practiced compassion to the best of my ability. Yeah, hi again. Is there any way that I could talk to a technician directly to get my models figured out? I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you. And you won't believe what happened. I got everything sorted in a timely manner with a very nice individual. I was relieved. That is, until they sent me the updated invoice. The original quote with the line drawing was $10,800 US. And the new quote? $15,800. Yeah, and that's not 5,000 doll hairs, that's 50% more cost when I went through the work of designing an efficient layout. Doc, what do I... Oh, will you look at that? We're out of time. So as the quest continued down the yellow brick road, where I was the one doing the hard work of understanding mistakes, using compassion, patience, honesty, and respect, was this a quest for me to find a heart, brains, and courage? Or was I about to get the runaround again? Not to mention, the third-party distributor that was supposed to be doing all of the communication did absolutely nothing to help my situation up until this point. He ended up taking his undeserved cut and disappearing. So he raised my price, but offered virtually no service. So did I shell out the $5,000? Heck no. I had a plethora of some very patient and some very assertive conversations with people that didn't seem to understand my frustration. It was honestly like pulling teeth, but eventually they honored something close to their original quote. How kind of them. So my final price was $12,800.30, plus my time invested designing, fixing, and communicating, money I lost waiting around, and 2 fake therapy sessions. Until Nordfab, I really tried. I wanted to say great things. Until they sent an unexpected bill that was not talked about for shipping. I quit. So I just paid the dang thing, okay? I broke. Both parties absorbed a tiny bit of some costs, but I was out of steam. I needed my dust collection working to use my machines. So my hopes were that shipping would go smoothly and I'd have my shop up and running within a week. You gotta think I'm making this up by now. Instead of using a wonderful freight line like Laguna would, like say Old Dominion, where they're on time and they give courtesy calls throughout the entire shipping process. No, of course not. They used some freight service that was over a week late and gave no courtesy calls at any point in time. One crate even came ripped open with guts spilling out, and worst of all, no lift gate to even get it off of their own truck. Are these just high expectations I'm having? Comment below if you think this is bonkers or if you think I'm uptight. And while you're there, you should subscribe because this channel has awesome build videos. I wish I had video of it, but I luckily had someone show up at my shop just in time to help. Since the freight service gave no form of lead time, I didn't even know they were coming. We obviously had to unload the broken pallet by hand, then I gratefully borrowed my neighbor's forklift to get the undamaged crate off the gateless truck. Please tell me it's over, Corey. I wish I could, but not without these honorable mentions. I had to make plywood brackets to mount the downspouts to the walls because there were of course none included. I was also left with thousands of dollars of extra materials that were not used, therefore money wasted. They had every dimension necessary to create an accurate design. There's no reason for any extra parts at this point. And most importantly, I'm left with a burnt fuse, a conflicting opinion as I mentioned earlier. And you might be asking, was it worth it? And my odd yet truthful answer is yes. This product has been geniusly designed, and the manufacturing quality is insanely nice. The way everything snaps together then locks with a cotter pin is truly superb. The slide couplings make sizing a run extremely fast. Everything is a heavy gauge that resists collapsing, and we installed everything in 9 hours total. My machines get great suction thanks to the amazing ingenuity of the product. And when Nordfab unblocks me from their phone list, I might even consider adding to my system in the future. After all, my therapist does tell me to work on my compassion. I just hope Nordfab's therapist does the same thing. I could only fathom that this was a massive fluke. I also hope that this fluke isn't a common occurrence. Call it luck or call it bad karma, maybe it was coming to me. Maybe I'm not as good of a person as I think I am. Or maybe this was simply bad service with a company that knows their product will outshine their unthorough customer service. Hopefully by now you trust my transparency, and by no means am I telling you to not purchase Nordfab ductwork. In fact, in one perspective, this product is worth the expensive cost. What I am asking of you is to stick up for yourself. Corporations lose sight of what's truly important: our satisfaction. Remember, it's your hard-earned money that pays their paychecks. Without you, yes you, there are no sales, there is no profit, and there is no corporation. Without you, there is no fortress. Prices have been rising faster than ever before. Ironically enough though, companies have also been pulling record-breaking profits. So with that said, share this with others so that we can restore the balance of supply and demand. You can subscribe here and watch this awesome video next.